At 33 years old, my name is Callum Ridgway, and I used to believe that everything was going swimmingly. If you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have assured you my marriage to Marissa was strong, worthy of praise. After 7 years together, I thought we'd worked through our problems. She came from another world. Ancient wealth, opulent homes, private schools, meaningful family names. I came from humble beginnings. My dad was a mechanic, my mom, a nurse. We scraped by. When we first met, she was stunning, gorgeous, and she didn't seem to care about my background. I was just a guy who fixed computers, but I convinced myself we were equals. Looking back, I realize now the cracks were always there. Her mother, blah. Her brother Gregory. They never liked me. Every interaction felt like a test, like I was auditioning for a role I'd never get. Marissa used to dismiss it. "They'll come around, Callum. Just give them a chance." I trusted her. But 7 years is a long time to be treated like dirt under someone's immaculate shoes. Things had been tense for a while, little disputes. Nothing I couldn't handle, until the annual family gathering in New York. Marissa encouraged me to go, said it would be different, that her family would see me for who I was. I wasn't excited. Honestly, I would have rather stayed home repairing a dozen busted laptops than deal with them again. But I went. For her. The estate. It was massive. A colonial mansion set on a cliff, steep staircases, cold, echoing rooms, magnificent, but in that way that makes you feel small, like you don't belong unless you were born into it. From the moment we arrived, I could feel the weight of their stairs. Blee gave me a handshake so limp I barely felt it. Gregory laughed, like he knew something I didn't. The whole weekend felt like a test I hadn't studied for. Every conversation was a minefield. I'd mention the weather, and Blee would correct me. Gregory would joke about my job, ask if I'd ever thought about doing something more ambitious. I laughed it off, tried to keep the peace, but inside, I was boiling. Marissa kept whispering, "Relax, they don't mean it," but I saw her eyes. She knew they did. By day 2, I was counting down the hours, tried to stay polite, kept my head down, but it was like trying to hold water in my hands. Everything was slipping away. Then came dinner. We gathered around this enormous table, candles flickering, silverware clinking, crystal glasses reflecting a world I didn't belong in. Marissa squeezed my hand beneath the table, like she was rooting for me, and for a moment, I felt okay. But then Gregory started, again, louder this time. Bull joined in, mocking everything, from the way I sat to my clothes. I could feel every eye on me, waiting for me to slip. Still, I believed maybe, just maybe, I could prove something. To them, to her, to myself. So, I stood up, cleared my throat, and gave a toast. I kept it simple, spoke about thankfulness, about how lucky I felt to be part of their family, but halfway through, one of her cousins chuckled. Not loud, just this quiet, mocking laugh that spread across the table. My face burned. I raised my voice, not yelling, just firm. "I'm serious. I mean this." The laughter stopped. The room went silent. Then, Blee stood, graceful, cold. "We don't tolerate tantrums at this table, Callum," she said. Tantrums? Like I was some child, not a man trying to say something real. I looked at Marissa, waited for her to speak, to defend me. But she didn't. She just stared into her wine glass, like the answers were there. My chest clenched, and I sat back, down. The rest of dinner? Forks on porcelain. Voices rising again, like nothing happened. But I was done. That night was different. It wasn't just another awkward dinner. It was the moment the dam cracked. Gregory smirked. Blow drank her wine. And Marissa wouldn't look me in the eye. I'd tried to build a bridge with that toast. They burned it before I even finished. Later that night, in our room, I couldn't hold it in anymore. It was a fancy setup. 4-poster, bed, heavy curtains, stuff that cost more than my truck. I took off my tie, tossed it aside. I turned to her. She was already sitting on the edge of the bed, arms crossed. "What was that, Callum?" she asked. Her voice, low, like a teacher, scolding a student. I took a deep breath, tried to keep calm. "I've had enough, Marissa. I'm done with this." She rolled her eyes. "You're too sensitive," she muttered. "They were joking. You didn't have to make a scene." "A scene? I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. All I did was speak." I stepped closer. Hands shaking. "I'm your husband," I said. "Not their punching bag." "You don't get it," she said. "This is just how they are. 7 years. 7 years of swallowing comments, of fake smiles, of never being enough. I shouldn't have to deal with it," I whispered. "You should have had my back." She sighed, long and dramatic. "You're blowing this out of proportion." And that's when it happened. Not a scream, not a slam, just a quiet break inside me. "No, Marissa," I said. "I'm not. I'm done pretending this is okay." She stood up then, arms finally dropping. "You have 2 choices, Callum. Apologize or leave." I froze. The air in that room, heavy. Cold. Apologize? For what? I waited, hoping she'd take it back. Soften. She didn't. So I nodded. "Okay," I said, steady. She blinked, caught off guard. But I didn't wait. I packed a bag, a few clothes, my toothbrush. She didn't say a word. No, "Wait," no, "Let's talk," nothing. As I reached the door, she finally spoke. "You're really doing this?" I didn't look back. "Yeah," I said. "I am." And I walked out. Down those cold, winding stairs, past those paintings that looked like they judged me too. I got in my truck, started the engine, and drove. Didn't know where I was going, only knew I wasn't staying, and for the first time in years, I could breathe. I'm Callum Ridgway, and I didn't look back, not once.